Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's Jonathan back again with the Weekly Score. Today I'm talking about the Miami Dolphins and their potential head coaching candidates. Honestly, there's been only a few confirmed candidates that the Dolphins are looking into, but I still wanted to talk about them. And let's start off with the least likely, or the one I least like. It's the most recent report I went to is Dan Quinn. Dolphins have asked for permission to interview him. You know, I'm not really a fan of Dan Quinn. I think he really got boosted by Kyle Shanahan on his Super Bowl run. And as we see now, the 49ers have been more successful. Dan Quinn even got fired and is now a DC. And I don't think it makes sense moving on from like one of the best defensive coaches in Flores to hire another defensive coach that doesn't really bring much of anything to the table, if we're being honest, other than experience. But even then, some of these guys that are here have a lot of experience as well. So I'd rather see some new blood, but he's not really someone I think is gonna get hired, if I'm being honest. We'll see though. And then next up is Jim Caldwell. Honestly, he was supposed to be a Dolphins, I think, assistant head coach when Flores first got here, but health reasons limited him from actually participating, and he ended up like stepping down, I believe. But he did do pretty good when he was the Lions head coach before getting fired, very similarly to how Flores got fired. Honestly, I do like him as a head coach, but I think he's a bit older, and I really like these younger guys, as you will see with my list. Next up, we have Harbro, one of the Harbros. You know, honestly, I don't think this is gonna be like. I don't think it's likely. I think he's gonna stay in Michigan. Honestly, I think that's the most likely scenario. But we'll have to see. I mean, we already have Steven Ross saying that he's not gonna poach him away from Michigan. So unless he wants to come to the NFL, I don't see him leaving Michigan. I'm pretty sure he'll stay there. And I don't think that's the plan anyways, because I think Greer has a plan and he has a vision that he's trying to execute with his draft picks and with his players. And number two on my list, the runner up, is actually the Bills OC, Brian Dabble. He actually coached Tua at Alabama, which is a very interesting fact. And he's been the person to help develop Josh Allen into who he is. I mean, I've heard mixed reports. Some people say that his offense isn't revolutionary by any means, and then other people say that he got Josh Allen to where he is, which I think both are very likely. I mean, I think there's always some truth in both of those things, but at the same time, you know, the biggest, well, not the biggest problem, but the biggest question mark I say on the Dolphins right now is Tua and his future with the Dolphins. So you definitely see this, especially with the next head coaching candidate. But you see what the Dolphins are going for. They're going for an offensive mind, and they're going for that experience. But I think Dabo is actually a really solid target. I would not mind this at all. I think he could do very good things with Tua. But my number one choice is actually Mike McDaniel. I've loved the Kyle Shanahan offense for a while now. I do know Mike McDaniel. I do believe that Adam, that Saleh from the Jets head coach, actually tried to poach him away from Shanahan, and Shanahan said, "No, you're not gonna take him away from me." But I'm sure if the Dolphins offered him a head coaching position, he would more than likely take it. Being the Dolphins are a big market, so if he could be the coach that finally figures it out, he'd be regarded in a very high stature. But without that being said, I think the Dolphins and McDaniel could actually work very well together. I think McDaniel should hopefully fix the O line, bring in some O line coaches. I think he should have relationships with people from San Francisco and be able to bring in a solid defensive coordinator. And I think his offense should translate well if Greer could also draft and sign some O line and maybe a running back. I think the offense could be very explosive. There's a Chris Olave in the draft, which I very much like him. And if you got Olave and Waddle, think about that, them being the Ayuks and Debo Samuels to the 49ers offense, and I think great things could happen. But with that being said, we'll see how this plays out. Mike McDaniel is my number one choice, but we'll see what happens and see y'all next time.